Well, Peter, we're probably just over 24 hours out from his grand final. I wish I win. How's he travelled down to Sydney and how's he looking ahead of the race?
Yeah, he's come good. It's become a sort of bit of a second home for him here at Randwick. Obviously, we've had the few trips now, so it's very, very familiar for him. And I've got to say, he probably travelled as good as he ever has. It's his only quirk for a very quiet horse. He's a bit of an old turd when he transports. So we wrap him up in cotton wool while he does transport. He shivers and shakes and frets a little bit, but this time round he travelled good, and I actually brought him up myself with Tinamoa. Gio, his regular attendant, unfortunately indisposed after an RC accident, and he seems to have handled the trip very well. And the way I'm approaching the race tomorrow, if last year's run is good enough to win this year's race, he's going good enough to win it. And I think luck in running will be the determining factor there. You would hope this year we're going to get nice fresh air and an unimpeded run into the race, where last year, obviously from the low draw, we were quite dictated to in the run.
Tell us about the decision to put the blinkers on Saturday.
Well, we're just looking at those little 1%ers. We put the blinkers on him in Brisbane in the Kingsford Smith, and he got the job done. He's early racing in New Zealand. He raced in blinkers, I think, to an early 3-year-old career. And I was just looking for that little 1%. But when you have a look at the form, without the blinkers, Bella Nipotina probably had an arguably better run than him and beat him ahead. With the blinkers on, we arguably had a better run than her. He hasn't had them on since the day he ran in the Kingsford Smith, and that was the first time I'd ever put a set on his head, knowing that he'd raced in them in New Zealand. So I didn't quite know what to expect, but we found two heads. We came from a head behind Bella Nipotina to a head in front of her, and maybe that could be the situation again tomorrow. Let's hope we're ahead in front of her, because I arguably think she's probably the one to beat again.
And you yourself, are you excited about tomorrow, or do you just want it all over and done with?
Oh, listen, I'm excited. It's obviously impossible not to be for such a big race. You know, it's the richest turf race in the world, and it's not all about money. I think it's about a little bit of redemption. You know, we thought we could win it last year and didn't quite go our way, and I think this horse deserves to have this sort of race on his resume. You know, from the people, from the day he was foaled, it's been well documented, you know, his conformation and the work and effort that's gone into this horse, not only in the last couple of years that he's been with us, but through his time at Tiaco Racing, who did a tremendous job with him as a young horse, and all the staff at Waikato Stud, where he was born and raised. They all stay in touch. They all get his updates. They love him. They follow him, you know, every day. You know, when I send a report through, I get 10 text messages from the staff at Waikato. So he's obviously a big part of a lot of people's lives. So it'd be great for them, as much it'd be very good for me, because we're not having the best trot at the moment, Jayne. I'm sick of running bloody placings.